Tony, sorry to wait.
It's late. It's nobody cares right now. We just want to all go home. So.
I think your guys led for a total of 32 seconds tonight, something like that. Was there ever a point at which you thought it's not going to happen tonight?
You just keep playing. I want to credit Cal for how talented they are. I would give them credit for that, but how hard they played and how well they played. We didn't start well. We had a hard time. We were a little impatient offensively and weren't dialed in defensively. We thought we prepared well for it, but we weren't. But in the second half, we started scrapping defensively. We started really battling and getting stops. And then, of course, some big plays were made, and we were running harder offensively with our cuts, and guys were attacking at the right times. So I just kept saying, get a score, get a stop. Score, stop. There's still time. And obviously we knew, Malcolm hit the big three. And then we had a little action, kind of a counter to that on the next one. And if the three was there for London, great. If not, there was something else. But, yeah, I wouldn't probably put a lot of money on that in that spot. But you know what? As long as you got the ball and you got a chance, and we got it back, why not? We're down 2. I know we get a good look at it. So,
I don't think you've run box split all year, but you go to it.
I know the name of that.
Hey,
it's top secret. You heard I was yelling it. You're right.
Don't think you've run it all year, but you go to Malcolm there, and like you said, the decoy action, I guess, the second one.
Yep.
What made you go to it in that situation?
I don't know. I'm thankful. That's why you always see me pulling out that card and looking at it and going, all right, what do we have? What do we have? And I sensed, I don't know, it could have easily been the wrong call, or I just wanted to get him a clean look. And it's been a good play for us. It has some counters. Again, we haven't used it a lot. And glad we used it for this time and this game.
Sure. Tony, can you talk about your last time out and setting up the London shot? And a lot of people say go for the win at home. Was that your thinking?
Well, it was again, it was just an action that the shot that London got, he made the shot. It wasn't this just like Malcolm's shot was wide open. London, there was an action where if you have a clean look, you can take it. If not, we had enough time to get something attacking out of it. So there was kind of two options to it. But he leaned in, and he's done that in the past. So yeah, if you had a clean look, go for it. See if we can end this thing. If not, we'll maybe try to make a play in the lane. And I'm glad that he did. We rode our guys pretty hard down the stretch, and we got a good lift. Nobody asked me. I'm sure I'll bring it up. I thought Jared gave us a great lift, and it's just we're going to need that. Here's a guy who hasn't played much. We used him today, and he was solid tonight.
Stole my question there, but I'll ask instead of just about Cal's length and the impact you thought it had on your guys shooting, especially in the paint.
Yeah. They stayed. They kind of, they clogged the lane. We tried to move the big fella out of there at times and run some ball screens, widen our offense a little bit. And I thought at times we did, but they're just big. I mean, there are teams in our league that are big like that, and you got to knock down some open shots. I could hear Coach Martin. He's a heck of a coach, and there's teams play tough like he played. Make them. I thought I heard him say, "Don't give them anything inside. Make them hit the outside shot." And they just clogged it up, and they could do it with their size. Anthony made some good plays. I'm curious on tape that last shot, the one he took. I don't know if we could have gotten a better one, but their size did cause some problems. I mean, both those guys, long and big. We fouled the one guy out, then they brought the other one in. And then on the glass, bless his heart, Isaiah was working hard trying to block out, and a couple times he just came off. But he was so valuable, how he was stopping ball screens and plugging gaps, and his putback was significant in that run. We needed everything to go right.
Malcolm had the stop at the end of regulation, similar to Wake Forest last year.
Yeah, right.
Can you just talk about how big that was to get you to overtime?
Well, the one that I think he might have hit his elbow on the one at the end of regulation. Was it? Yeah, where they called the foul, or was it? That was in regulation. We were up 2, and the guy made both free throws. I'll be curious, but then this time he really spread out. Yep, and they hit some tough shots. They got some shot makers. I mean, they ran some stuff. They hit some threes, and you can see their talent and their length and their size, and I think they're going to be obviously a real good team. But, Malcolm didn't have one of his better games, but he made a big 3, and he really was spreading out and sliding, as everybody was in that second half.
You mentioned Isaiah on the glass and doing his best to box him out. What about the hedge he did on the hedge he had on the screen and roll up top that led to the steal that led to Darius's dunk.
Yeah, you're right. That play right there. There's so many things that aren't in the stat sheet, and that's why his mobility, his activity, his team mindset defensively is significant for us. And yeah, there's so many plays. We were talking about Malcolm's 3 and London's 3, but how about that to get that? And then we fouled on the shot, but that was quite a the noise level went up. But to tap that ball and obviously Darius get down the floor, big play set up by his ability to spread out and help on a ball screen.
Tony, when you guys set up your non-conference schedule this year, you wanted to make it hard. The last 2 games especially, maybe the last 3, how much have they kind of done what you want them to do?
Yeah, I mean, you learn a lot in those games. We were fortunate to come away with that one. It's the way we started. You can't do that. We found a way. The crowd was phenomenal. It really was. I know a lot of the students weren't here, but I'll tell you what, it was booming in there, and that was great. But absolutely, you're trying to find out as much as you can about rotations, who can play in certain situations, go against different kinds of teams, and that's the plan. And not to look too far ahead because I do want to enjoy Christmas, but Oakland is one of the better mid-majors. They're a heck of a team. They took it to Washington. At Washington, they had Michigan State on the ropes tonight. I think they ended up lost in overtime, and they're terrific. So heading into conference play, there's that's what we wanted, and here we are. And I told the guys, you asked for it, you got it. Cal's here, you better play. And we didn't come out to play early, but we came to play the second half.
It takes a while for each team to establish its identity. Do you have a sense now going into Christmas of kind of what kind of team you have? And
yeah, I mean, I think we know how we have to play. I mean, we just got to keep whittling away. We got to outlast people. We got to be hard to play against. I'm sure people, why didn't we start with that kind of fire? I can't quite answer that. I think every experience we get in, we're learning that, and there are no easy ones left because you just look at our conference. Did Wake Forest win? I just saw when I was watching, they were quite. So it's such a deep conference, and you're going to have to learn to be as good as you can from start to finish. That's what we're trying to become. But how we have to play, I think, is becoming clear with the kind of intensity and the soundness on both ends.